With each passing day here in Wayanad, the death toll continues to go up. We've entered the fourth day since multiple landslides hit this area where I'm standing, and now the death toll has touched 308. Unfortunately, over the next few days, the rescue operations will continue and the death toll is only going to mount as they reach pockets which they haven't been able to so far and continue to dig deeper. Obviously, families, loved ones who are waiting in Mepadi town, a few kilometers from where I am, they're waiting for some news about their loved ones. They are losing all sense of hope that their families can actually be pulled out alive. But today, nothing short of a miracle, army personnel who are also here part of the operation managed to pull out 2 men and 2 women alive. That was from one of the spots which wasn't as badly hit as the others. But after 4 days, help has managed to reach them and they've now been shifted in for medical care as well. So a lot of updates really coming in on the rescue front. What's made things much easier when compared to before was the fact that now there's a bridge that connects, Mundakai to Churumara. Before that, it was extremely hard for all personnel to come through. Now much easier because of the bridge that was built by the army in record time. Let's get you all of the updates before I bring in our reporters. The biggest challenge for authorities has been in handling all of the bodies, 300 and counting, that continue to come in here into hospitals in Mepadi town. And it is here that the bodies are brought. First, there's an identification process which we'll run you through. But there's also the challenge of sanitization, of ensuring that no disease is spread, because you've got a whole number of relatives who gather here. Today, for example, an announcement was just made on the speaker that 5 bodies have been recovered and the 5 bodies will be brought here. First, they're cleaned up, then kept here for identification for just about 20 minutes. And then there's a whole other process that's followed. There are anxious family members all around waiting for any news. We'll, of course, respect their privacy, so we won't be speaking to any of them. But we show you the process that's being followed right now to ensure that everything can move smoothly. With 300 plus bodies and every single day, the number going up, more and more being brought in here. Authorities and largely volunteers are doing a whole lot to bring the situation under control. We hear the ambulances ringing. These are how they're doing the identification of bodies. A little child's body has been found and on him a uniform. So they're using that uniform logo, showing pictures of it to relatives who've gathered here, asking them if this body belongs to anyone that they know, if it belongs to their loved ones. They're using clothes, they're using features of the body and trying to identify if these bodies belong to someone. So the body is brought out here and kept here for about 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes, everyone who's waiting here is allowed to go ahead and check if it's their family relative or not. And constantly there are efforts to sanitize the area because there's also serious concern of disease spreading because these are bodies that have been under the soil for days together. So there's a concern and as terrible as it sounds, but many of these bodies are rotting. You can smell it in the air, which is why we're masked up and we're wearing these gloves. But relatives are allowed to come close, look, see if it's any of their loved ones. The body is kept here for 20 minutes. Let me bring in Shibi Mola and Shilpa Nair on this broadcast, both of whom have been tracking the rescue operations and all the latest updates that are coming in. Shibi, I'll come across to you first. You travelled right up to Mundakai today as well to track the latest on the rescue front. What's been happening really today? Fortunately, the weather's been kind, so officials are still up there continuing with the rescue operations. But does it look like this is something that could wrap up anytime now? It's a huge effort because of the amount of distance, the amount of space that they have to really cover. So, are they making any headway really in completing this rescue operation, or does it look like it'll take another few days?
Well, as of now, it does look like it will take another few days because, so many people are still missing. And, practically speaking, after a few days, it will all be registered as missing cases because that's what we've seen in the past when, there have been landslides happening. There are still 5 people missing in a landslide that took place in Idukki a few years ago. So, this is much larger. The intensity and the magnitude of this landslide is much bigger, and the missing people are so many. It's in hundreds and not just reduced to single digits. So, but definitely the rescue operations will continue for a few more days because there are still certain pockets. When I went up to Mundakai, what I noticed, what I heard was there are certain pockets where still people are expecting to find few more, bodies that's under the debris. So the focus is there. There are few rescue operators who are very experienced in, carrying out rescue operations in this terrain, which is, which is very similar to what we find in Munnar and Idukki. So those, when I spoke to them, they were saying that there are certain pockets where you get the sense that there could be a body lying down. So based on those experts' opinion, also they are trying to, carry out the rescue operation. The excavators have been working very efficiently up there. Every nook and corner, they've been, taking out this mud and boulders and everything, trying to sense. Today also, I saw there was a piece of a cloth there, a sari cloth to be precise, where the rescue operators tried their best to, try and see if there's one more body, found there. But the number is very huge, so they can't be wrapping up the rescue operations very soon, is what we're understanding. Also, the death toll also right now it stands at 338 with.
However, at this point is that there are many families completely wiped out. So there's no way that officials can know exactly how many are missing at this point. That's a challenge. Shilpa, I'll come back to you. I want to bring in Shilpa Nair also on the broadcast, who's been tracking all the efforts underway and how it's right now coordinated effort, Shilpa. The centre, the state, army, NDRF, SDRF, Kerala police, all camping here around the clock, along with locals, of course, to do everything they can in this rescue operation. There's a big question mark, however, on why so far this has not been declared as a national disaster.
Well, that's the big question, Akshata. Given the magnitude of this disaster, the parties here, the political parties here, be it the Congress, be it the ruling left front, all of them are saying that it's high time that this be declared as a national disaster. But we don't have any word from the union government yet on that front. But as far as the rescue operations are concerned, earlier this morning we did speak to Kerala Minister A.K. Shashindran, someone who's been camping here at Wayanad at the landslide site for several days now. In fact, and he of course said that the manner in which they're doing the rescue operations at this point in time, they're dividing the rescue personnel drawn from different agencies, be it the NDRF, Coast Guard, Navy, etc. And then, of course, they're being divided into 6 sectors where they are sent for rescue operations. And I'm just going to speak to one of the JCB operators. In fact, his was the first JCB to cross this particular river at Churalmala, even before the army had constructed the bridge. Cheta, is it first JCB?
First JCB ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഇറക്കിയത്. പിന്നെ ഇവിടെ വന്നപ്പോൾ തൊട്ട് ഞങ്ങളെ വണ്ടിയാണ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഉള്ളത്. നമ്മളൊരു ഓപ്പറേറ്ററും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. മൂപ്പര് ഇവിടെ വീടാണ്. So
he is basically saying that one of their JCBs was parked right here, and that is the reason why they could save a lot of people. He was just telling me that before, that theirs was the first JCB on the spot when the landslide took place, and also after the rescue operations started, his was the first JCB to cross over to this side. Families are
huge difference. It really speeds the rescue operations. Shilpa, I'm going to have to thank you because I also want to play your report of how locals have come together to make a big difference camping here in Wayanad for the last many days. Take a look at this report by Shilpa.
Kerala has come together to help Wayanad in this difficult time, in this time of crisis. We are currently reporting from Wayanad, just a few meters away from the landslide site, and this is a kitchen that has been opened by the Muslim Youth League. All of these are volunteers who've come from Kozhikode. They reached here on the night of the landslide to carry out rescue operations, and then they opened this kitchen where they prepare food for the rescue workers who are engaged in the rescue activities at Mundakai, at Churalmala, etc. So you can see how fresh food is prepared, and they provide meals for all 3 times in the day. They make food here and then they pack it and they take it in vehicles and distribute it to the rescue workers who are actively engaged, not even taking a minute's rest at the landslide site. And so one can see from the visuals the kind of challenging work that the rescue operators are doing. But here are a group of volunteers who've come together to ensure that the rescue workers also get their food, enough water, etc. I'm just going to speak to some of them here. Sir, can you tell us, you've come from Kozhikode.
Yeah, we are from Kozhikode.
Tell us a little bit about this kitchen that you've started.
Actually, we are here almost 60 people. Out of 60, we are 25 people are already gone for the rescue, and balanced people we are here completely. We are busy with the supply of the foods for the entire rescue teams, including the police and the militaries and all. And this is the third day we are doing this, and almost 10,000 foods we already supplied.
So you basically make food for 10,000 people in a day?
10,000, yeah. The first day we supplied 10,000 and yesterday we supplied 10,000.
So this just goes on to give you a glimpse of how people are coming together to extend whatever support possible to help Wayanad, to help those who are helping Wayanad. And the least they say they can do is to help these people who are selflessly working on ground. And this just goes on to show the spirit of Kerala, the spirit of Wayanad. With video journalist Daniel, this is Shilpa Nair for India Today.